Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I talked him into trying to use monster parts to make new bullets, which was kind of interesting. Like taking teeth from certain monsters and like, okay, gunpowder, got the casing, just gotta put that all together. Yeah. Mm. No, absolutely. Like I agree with that because like well, for me that's very rooted in my no, dude, like that for me that's very rooted in my heritage cuz like we have a lot of Native American in my family like on both sides. So like it's just I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, like it's really awesome to just be able to kill something and utilize it. Like the a previous game that I ran, the party had gone into the sewers under a city, and they're in hot pursuit of this guy for a reason, something to do with like a potion shop, and they had a man named Presto helping them out with that because like he's like, hey guys, you got to help me out with this. I'll help you. big old potion exchange situation. And one thing leads to another, and we had the most anime moment ever where just the party ranger, who no dex, just likes to grapple everything, they come up against a sewer gator, and he's like, go on ahead, yeah, go on ahead, guys, I got this. So he goes and he just starts wrestling this thing and choking it out. Like, he just like goes 1v1 with this sewer gator, eventually kills it, and then proceeds to skin it. And he's like, I want to turn this into my armor. I'm like, gator skin armor? That'll be a better than normal leather armor. Okay, let's see what we can do to make this happen. And like for the rest of the game, he's walking around with like Crocodile Dundee, because that's kind of like part of the inspiration for his character, with this gator vest for armor. I yeah. Oh, they're pretty balanced. Like a lot of people, when they are recommending a first class to a new player, there are two classes that come to mind for me. Most people recommend fighter because, oh, you're a fighter, you go, you hit stuff, no way to be confused. What I recommend is throwing them in the deep end with either paladin or bard. Because if you don't know what you want to do, you don't know if you want spells, you don't know if you want to be the sword guy, you don't know if you want to be like this or that, paladin and bard are basically the everyman. They can do everything. They are the jack of all trades. The bards literally get jack of all trades. Mm. Oh. No, I get that absolutely. Yeah, I get that. I love it. I love that. Like on a spiritual level, it makes sense that someone would devote themselves to such an oath, you know? And that kind of goes back to one of the reasons that I would recommend Paladin to new players more just alongside Bard. Because, like, for one, Paladin and Bard, you got access to sword, you got access to spells, you got access to good charisma to be able to talk to people, so you can talk people down, you can do this and that. So it's just a matter of, do you want something that has more sneak potential or more tank potential? And yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that because like I think when you're starting out with new players, one of the key things you want to kind of instill in them. Sorry, cough's been killing me all day. But you want to instill the concept of D&D as a place where creative play is encouraged, and one of the easiest ways to introduce a new player to creative play is creative spellcasting. So by giving them a class that has spell options, they start to think, okay, well, maybe I could do this. And they don't have preconceived notions of how something should work. So they're kind of guessing on their own. They're like, hey, this says this. Does that mean that I could do this? And then like as a DM, you're like, yeah, sure. You know what? I'll give it to you. Roll, see what happens. But with the exactly. But like you said, when it comes to martial classes, a more experienced D&D player is like, okay, you're trying to challenge yourself in being effectively the Jackie Chan of your situation. Okay, yes, Jackie Chan is great at fighting, but if you've ever seen a good Jackie Chan movie like Rush Hour 2, for example, I'm biased towards Rush Hour 2, favorite Jackie Chan film. And so anytime you see Jackie Chan in a fight on screen, he's not strictly using hands and feet. He uses everything in the environment, whether it's a towel, a pot, a pan, a chair, a stool, a like he will leap over a desk, flip a desk, turn it around, or like he'll someone will try to stab at him with a knife. He'll lift up a chair and like get their arm caught in the chair, lock it, and then push them into the next guy, and then like oh, someone's coming up behind him. He grabs the rug and pulls it out from under him. Like with Jackie Chan, it's literally the hey, my martial art is how would you like to have your ass kicked by the everything around you? And I love it. Yeah, Jackie Chan, I am a fan. Which is why we want to do the Jackie Chan Adventures abridged. I'm so excited. I want to get some voice lines in on that. The script for episode 1 is almost done. Mm. But yeah, I just love the concept of being able to. How can I use the environment? Anyway, yeah, like I'm just loving like whether it be Gun Mage or Oath of the Harvest, like those are just really awesome to me, you know? Mm. Ooh. You know it'd be really fun, Sam. What if we pitch something here? Just like right now, like big idea. Yeah. Mm. All right. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Voldemort, is that you? He's much more cool than the other guys. Damn. If Danny Phantom was the jock. Mm. Okay. I like that because it kind of takes that whole concept of the chronomancy wizard and like pushes it to another class that could really have a lot of fun with that. Now, what really sticks out to me is kind of the that barbarian one, and Sam, let me know how this name hits you. Okay, Rock Spectre. Mm. No, no. Okay, no, no. Okay, Jimbo the Himbo. No, I actually like the concept of this kind of a character just being a major himbo. Like he's just got like a just such a fun, big, lovable guy that just like, oh, hey, couldn't help but notice that are y'all okay in there? And he's just like his head is poking through the fucking wall. Yeah, exactly. Like kind of like I, I I just feel like give him that big himbo energy. So every time like he's doing, yeah, just kind of like goes into situations blissfully unaware, but like just kind of like a fun bumbling idiot. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Hmm. I've never heard of this. Oh, that's cool. I've seen some kind of a gunslinger spellcasters in various media before, so it's fun ground to tread there. Ah, that's cool. Okay. I like the concept of that because like it kind of makes me think of I want to say Outlaw Star, where like it's a little bit more on the tech side, but it kind of dips into magic. Where, mm, oh, dude, that'd be so awesome. Mm. Ooh, dude, that means the time to strike to do anything with gargoyles, abridging or otherwise, is now. Like, ride that hype. Oh, dude, tell us about gargoyles as a setting. Like, how should we actually be running these gargoyles? Nah, he does sound cool. Sam, if you reach out and try to get him out, because, like, ah, you never know. Yeah, yeah. I absolutely love it. It turns into a thing where the Oath of the Harvest paladin is genuinely a paladin for the common man, you know? I like that. Like sometimes like the good homebrew can bring synergies to a party that wouldn't normally have it, and even when the players want to synergize better. And that really lends itself to a more player driven experience at the table. Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that we love about having guests on the show with all these amazing projects and getting like to I like hearing the passion that creators have for their projects, you know? Like we have a guy in our server that is working on this Proto Man fan game because growing up he absolutely loved Mega Man and still does to this very day. Oh yeah, the sprites are beautiful. Absolutely. Just the pure passion that goes into something. And like I watched this man go from having no identity to yeah, he had no education. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he had no birth certificate, no social security number, nothing. Like he did not exist. So he no, it's perfectly fine. Like yeah, see? Kingdom Hearts has taught us well. The man went from he had to go get himself a birth certificate, and then he had to yeah, like he did this all as an adult. He got himself the social security number. He went to Job Corps, got himself the high school education, all in a short period of time, a trade in the process, and then proceeded to use the the money you make at Job Corps is terrible, like $20 every other week. He managed to use that to make more money for himself, to buy a computer, and then proceed to teach himself how to uh, start building a video game from scratch with nothing. Like the computer couldn't possibly run nearly all the stuff that he wanted. And by the time he left, he was already started on building a video game. Oh, by the way, Sam, my soundboard is back. Yeah, I managed to get things going. Ah, yes. This is TNM, bringing you Nerd News. Ah, dude. I was like, while you guys were chatting, I was like, it secretly behind the scenes, doing all the little shit to get things working again. So, surprise. Well, that's how I DM things. Don't tell my players that. Sam, forget I said that. Anyway, exactly. So, first off, in nerd news this week, apparently there is going to be a new Dragonlance pre-order for a Dragonlance novel. So if anyone's into those D&D novels, in the classic Dragonlance series, is finally releasing a new thing. My dad used to be really into those, actually. I've seen them around here and there. Never actually read one, but it's got the whole D&D setting. So if y'all want to get more into a little bit of lore as provided by Penguin Random House, well, that's a thing. I don't know how this connects to any of the previous installments in Dragonlance as a setting. Damn. That it is actually. Mm. In the early days of D&D, yeah, in the early days of D&D, there were a lot of settings, and they were all competing within the hobby. So it's like, instead of having everyone be like, "Oh, hey, let's play some D&D," it's like, "Yo, dude, if you're not down with Eberron, you're not down with me." You get it? Mm. Yeah. What, you don't play Dragonlance? You could take your Ravenloft having ass out of here. Get fucked. You stand in the Forgotten Realms? This is Dragonlance territory. Mm. But dude, it used to be like straight like factions within the community when it came to play setting, which was just wild. Looks like the pre-orders are going to be around $30 for paperback. But if you're someone like my esteemed co-host Sam, you'll wait for the audiobook version and listen to it at work. Honestly. Oh, they should have been selling Lego minifigs, because we talked about that last week. A little bit more news on that side. Dude, missed a chance. I think that Lego minis on the whole, fantastic idea for D&D. Yeah, because like you just have all these little Lego weapons. Boom. That's an entire array of stuff. And best part is, if you're going with Lego minis, your little 3D printed friend there is a prime example. Just 3D print anything you don't have. Dude, if they released a Lego Baldur's Gate, I'm in. Wow, dude. If Larian got the license to do a Lego D&D game, I'd be all in. They could do all retreaded territory and it'd still be fine. But it looks like they're all set for 12 new Lego minifigures, so a little bit more information than we had last week. And of those, we're looking at a Mind Flayer with Intellect Devourer Pet. Vampire, we're assuming it's probably going to be Count von Strahd, you know. Yeah, so going to have a little bit of Strahd in there. Tasha, you know, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Going to get the Lich and Red Wizard Saz Tom. If anyone has been in D&D for a long time or seen the D&D movie, they might be familiar with this Lich. Okay, let's see. The Lady of Pain. I don't know who that is, but it says with interdimensional cube. Okay. Ah, that explains why I'm unfamiliar. Okay. Next up, a Tiefling Sorcerer with Pseudo-Dragon Familiar. Dragonborn Paladin with Shield and Mace. Aarakocra Ranger with Bow and Dog. Dwarf Barbarian with Battle Axe and Torch. Githyanki Warlock. Arcane Eye, Staff, and Dagger. Halfling Druid with a Bird Companion. The Bird Companion is going to fly off of this thing. Yes. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, they don't really differentiate between adults and children with minifigs. So how is this gonna work? Like the like halflings are gonna be like, I could understand like maybe making the dwarf like have a shorter body, but yeah, like you can just like, you know, maybe it's weird because like with minifigs you want everything to be compatible with each other. So that's a very good question. And then finishing it out, we got a half-elf bard with lute and sword. That kind of naturally goes together. The article here actually has some remarkably convincing AI art of the minifigs for D&D. Yeah, I'll have to send you the link, but it's just like most people are really against Lego. I'm not Lego AI art, but like I was convinced until I took a closer look at some of these. It's some wily stuff. I personally think that if they're gonna, I worry that they're not gonna leave too many options for people who are trying to customize their minifigs, you know? But if you have a bunch of minifigs, you might be able to get some good customization out of it to begin with. So, as always, with any good hobby, it's up to the community to rescue this project from itself. Hey, 3D printing has come a long way. We can make the stuff that we don't get. Yeah, 3D printing has put the means of fabrication to the hands of the people. Dude, you can't even get on. Dude, you want me to sit on a couch murdering Pokemon in front of my kids? Ah, okay. You know, that sounds like a business plan to me. The other thing that we have going on for the nerd news this week is apparently there's a new D&D themed live show called the 20-Sided Tavern. So it's like a full-on stage Broadway type production. I, I'm just looking at this. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's just like the whole thing just strikes me as weird. Yeah, like I said, Broadway production. This sounds like such a desperate. Dude, those tickets better come with custom dice. Mm. I don't know how I could possibly justify going to something like that. Because, like, if I'm going to go to see a stage performance, maybe I go to something a little bit more, uh, like, it's just. Then again, the counterpoint to my own hesitancy, there's not a better group of D&D players than your local theater group. Yeah, like lots of D&D players are theater nerds, so that could work. I'm just skeptical about, like, it's supposed to be all rehearsed, so they'll have a coherent plot. I don't know, maybe it'll be kind of like how they did the D&D movie. You've been meaning to for like the past year since it came out. To be fair, movies kind of suck, so. ID, do you there's always a new Marvel movie, and I'm always avoiding it because, like, I don't really care. I don't really like Marvel movies. I'd rather have a show. Nah, dude, they lost me like 10 years ago. And as it stands with like Marvel stuff, I'm like, dude, just give me an animated series that goes longer than 3 fucking seasons, and I'm good. Young Justice was so good. They brought it back for a short while, and then they just stopped. They stretched it out, like they did too much time skip. Like they could have they really could have stretched out the time that they had, but it's whatever. Go right ahead. My throat is dry as fuck, and I've been sick all weekend. Oh, damn. Shusuva, Konosuba, what? Ooh. Okay, that sounds cool. Okay. Some fucked up spiky boys. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So like you get a little bit of that anorexic wolf look. Hmm. Okay. Damn, it sounds monstrous. Dude, abyssal things, like if they don't glow, why bother? Okay. All right. Yeah. That sounds like it could really backfire. But yeah. Hmm. Weird. Okay, so right off the bat, this seems like something that would make your standard Knoll encounter, which is already dangerous, mind you, even more so. Okay. Mm, right. Okay. Yeah, so like this weird abyssal hyena ghoul. Okay. All right. So that's giving me an inkling for where this IRL fight score is going. Yeah, that's typical of a very predatory creature. Oh. Okay, so that gives you some wiggle room as a DM. Like, oh, you think you know an undead when you see one? Sorry. Yo, these things come with a Uno reverse card? Ah, shit. That's crazy. Ah, shit. Well, what hope do you have of fighting one of these, Sam? All right. So Sam, IRL, dude, it's a lot. Dude, it checks all the boxes. Damn. All right. So IDBN, uh, if you had to fight this thing in real life, could you take it? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being no way. Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. I would give it a 10 if it weren't for one thing, and it's always the one thing that for me is if now under most circumstances facing this thing there is no prep time, but if there was prep time, here's what I would do. I would get a dummy, and I would get all the explosive stuff I could possibly get my hands on, and then I'd take a stop by the butcher shop and take all the meat that they threw out back that wasn't usable. Yeah, so then I'd just like kind of coat everything in that. So like you see, you trick it into getting all up in there, like eating, like you kind of like mix maybe some of the explosives right there, and yeah, this is the only way to kill this thing is to go full Wile E. Coyote, but actually pull it off. Yeah, so a good explosion would be force damage. Concussive force. A CR8, that's going to be a lot of health, but I think that it's possible. But a vast majority of the time, I am not surviving that. Like, if I actually if it touches me, I'm done. Done. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where the trap falls flat. Your trap has to be able to also fool the knoll that's with it. Yeah, you just need like it's not like the explosive the bomb isn't the best plan, but it seems like the only plan that someone like me could possibly make work. You should be able to if you follow it with diggity. Okay, okay. Is that a segue, sir?
Generic realm! Generic realm! Lots of fun! Excellent! Woo, 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 woo.
Ah, yes. Welcome to the generic realm, the compromise where everything coalesces. Just throw it in the pot. The hot pot of gaming. All right, Sam. I feel like I've heard of this. Holy hand grenade? No, no, I can't say I have. Enlighten me. Oh, good old classic Monty Python. Yes. All right. Okay, okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna see about trying to pull this up on the screen here. There we go. There we go. Pull that up for our viewers here. Okay. Well then. I would say that would probably work. I always knew this day would come. That's so oddly specific, but I like it. If it's from the abyss, it kind of has to be. Bare minimum. I mean, if you listen to the modern D&D player, they're all like, alignment's subjective. Like, dude, I don't fucking care if you think alignment is subjective. If the creature comes from hell, it's probably evil. Did you just assume my alignment, sir? They got a lot of holy fans in hell. Dude, I've been watching that and, dude, it gets the right amount of just the right amount of, I want to say, Disney, but like gritty, you know. Let's see. I was gonna pull up my homebrew here. Let's see if I got it right. Yes, there we go. I bring you a little something from Catalyst, Reddit user. We brought one of her homebrews on before, and I think you're gonna like this. So it's a little bit more than one. So that's on me for doing a little bit more than the usual, but so I like rope, and right here we got, yes. Well, don't beat me to that one. That's on the list. Okay, so we got a few different kinds of rope. I personally feel like rope is underutilized in modern 5th edition D&D. I come from an era of D&D where use rope was a skill on your sheet, Good old 3.5. I once designed a character for 3.5 predicated on just using rope for everything. Oh, you want a weapon? Boom. Monkey's fist the size of a bowling ball. You want armor? Guess what? Rope. Oh, yes. Rope trick. It's a classic. Oh, yeah, that's a classic spell, dude. You take out a piece of rope, it goes straight up. Little dimensional space. You crawl in the dimensional space, and you can pull up the rope behind you. It's basically the invisible treehouse. Dude. They are not... Exactly. And rope trick is just a very fun spell. It's a basic low-level spell, and not enough people take it, really. And I would say that it's compatible with one of these magical ropes, which, do with that what you will. First up, we got the Rope of Sickness. And all of these ropes are about 50 foot in length. You can adjust that for your setting if you decide to use these ropes, naturally. So, any creature restrained by this rope is also subject to the poison condition. While poisoned this way, a creature can't regain hit points. Then, we got Rope of the Phoenix. Any creature that knows the rope's nature can use a bonus action to command it to burst into flames. The rope instantly catches fire across its length. Any creatures touching the rope take a d4 fire damage at the start of their turn. The rope burns for 1 minute and then crumbles to ash. Unless scattered, this ash reforms into a rope after 24 hours. Yes, I love the rope as an item in D&D, and it's criminally underused. And these ropes... Oh, that might... I still hear you, and he's not disconnected on my end. Yeah, I still hear him. It might be just on your end, Sam, because things... This happens at least once an episode lately, where Sam's like, oh, this guy disconnected, and then it was Sam all along. And yeah, he's back. It was Sam all along. He was disconnected. But yeah, so following up, we got the Rope of the Basilisk. Now, a creature that knows the rope's nature touches it and uses a bonus action to turn it into stone. The rope remains in the petrified state for 24 hours, or until Dispel Magic is cast on it. The petrified rope has an AC of 20 and 30 hit points. It can be burst with a DC 25 strength check. Just think of all the shenanigans you could do with a rope that turns to stone. You could have a 50-foot pole. You could beat someone with a stone noose. Dude, it's the only knot I know. Exactly. All of these ropes have something like that. Now, this is a really fun one. Kind of led to that you were talking about earlier. The Rope of the Succubus. Any creature that attempts to untie, burst, or otherwise tamper with this rope must first succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, or waste their action enjoying the softness of the rope and its pleasant smell. Imagine trying to struggle to get out of something. You'd be like, actually, this is really soft. Is that silk? Yeah, it's and then they kind of give it a little sniff. Is that lavender? I was not expecting my captors to tie me up with lavender scented rope, and it's so soft. You know, this is how you know that you're on the wrong side of a war. Like when, yeah, rope of Stockholm syndrome. I heard a very compelling argument recently about how you know whether or not you're on the right side of a conflict, and that's purely based off of who you would rather be a prisoner of. It's like, oh, well, if I'm a prisoner for them, they'll kill me straight away. If I'm a prisoner for them, I get 3 square meals a day. Then we got a few more ropes on the list here. Now, let's see here. We got the Rope of the Titan. It has an AC of 25, 50 hit points, resistance to all damage. It can be burst with a DC 30 strength check. Strong rope go burr, you know. Yes. For all y'all Wonder Woman DC fans, you know, kind of circling back to what we were talking about earlier, because everything that goes around, we have the Rope of Truth. It glows golden yellow whenever a creature that is restrained by it speaks is a deliberate lie. Step aside, Zone of Truth. We got a new player in town. And then we also have the Rope of the Trickster. Any creature that knows the nature of this rope can touch it and use a bonus action to instantly untie any knot on its length, or make any section of it a slippery smooth. Creatures have disadvantage on all ability checks and saving throws related to climbing or holding the rope while it's slippery. Yeah. And this goes back to a few other versions of these ropes. If the user knows about its properties. Very key wording. Yeah, it's just words. It's a very specific use, and I could see this being very welcome in any rogue's toolkit, you know? When you want to shut out your pursuers, like, sorry, dude, slick rope. Yeah, like, yeah. It's like, could you imagine if Jackie Chan was a rogue thief? Like, dude, he'd just be stockpiling all kinds of bullshit. Okay, following up the last rope on the list here, the Rope of Vanishing. Any creature that knows the rope's nature can touch it and use a bonus action to turn it invisible. The rope remains invisible until it is cut or until the creature that knows its nature touches it. And uses another bonus action to make it visible again. Well, now hear me out, Sam. Weekend at Bernie's. You take this 50 feet worth of rope and you just kind of rig up like you take a corpse and you just kind of like have someone up above it, just like pulling the strings, you know? Yeah, yeah, you could probably do something like that. You gotta get creative with rope, you know? Ooh, yeah, that's real good. It's like that little trick that you do when you're a kid and like you get two people on the side of the road, and then you pretend to pull up a rope when a car's coming by. It like there's no actual rope, but people slow down all the same. Then you probably haven't had your ass beat on the side of the road either. Don't do this. I'm pretty sure it's a crime somewhere. We, yeah, Dungeons and Talk Shows does not endorse Kiss the Bumper as a children's game. Truck Kun is a very specific truck, and you're just not going to get it every time. Rope. But yeah. Please. I love it. I love it, but I will say one thing. Just my one critique is I am very disappointed that these sleeper slugs aren't like actual slugs in the bullet. Just imagine like you just have like these little like you have to go out and harvest these sleeper slugs. Yeah, and then you're just like carefully handling with like gloves and everything and making ammo with the slug, kind of like stuffing it in there. Yeah. Or like maybe you kill the slug to put it in the slug, and then when you shoot it, like it bursts all over them, and like the force of it being shot at someone, like you're already entering their bloodstream, so like oh toxin. Mm. You could totally have the sleep spell be like rapid fire, like boom, boom. You know, I love it. I'm gonna have to add that to my campaign now because we do have guns active in the campaign that I'm running. We are. I took the time to put together the stream overlay, rebuild that, and I've been rebuilding the D&D stuff for Foundry these past few days. So we will be having a session tomorrow. Everything works. I've double checked everything. The only thing that needs to be done is we need to get all the players in to finish up character sheets again. Yeah, which y'all are level 2, so that's not that big a deal. And I've been integrating things to make that easier. So, yeah, like Chibiusa is only going to have to make some minor tweaks as I was experimenting using her sheet. So, IDBN, where can people find you in all the wonderful things you've been working on? Ooh, we'll be excited to see some of that. All right. And with that, everyone, it's been great having y'all. And have a fantastic weekend. As always, we are Dungeons and Talk Shows. Sam, you got anything to add to that? Ah, it's about time. It's been too many weeks of things falling apart. I'm glad y'all are excited.